Hello, welcome to your fourth class on Introduction to Land Navigation. In this class we'll talk about route planning. Now there's some terms to talk about before we dig into the instruction. The first one is attack points. In this context, an attack point is a point on the ground at which point you'll pull out your map and your compass and you'll dead reckon towards your checkpoint. This could be an intersection or a hilltop. It's just any point in time where you're going to go ahead and pull out your map and compass and dead reckon. The next term is the collecting feature. A collecting feature, or otherwise known as a checkpoint by some people, are items of terrain or objects along your route that will tell you that you're going the right way. A classic example of this is when someone's giving you directions. They say, hey, you're going to pass by a gas station on your right, and then in 500 yards you'll take a right-hand turn. That gas station on your right is a collecting feature. It tells you that you're going the right direction. And it gives you a heads up that you might be needing to make some kind of change in your route. The last thing is a catching feature. The last term we're going to talk about is a catching feature. A catching feature is a piece of terrain that tells you you've gone too far. So an example here is someone's giving you directions, and they say, hey, if you hit the highway, if you're coming to our house and you're going down this road and you come across a highway, you've gone too far. Turn around and we're the next stop back. So that's the basic definition of attack point, collecting feature, and catching feature. Now, dead reckoning we'll talk about first, and that's, as you know from earlier classes, is simply going from point A to point B on a straight route with a distance and direction. This is the simplest way to explain getting from point A to point B, but can lead to problems because the longer that you dead reckon, the greater chance for error. So the greater distance you travel while dead reckoning, the greater chance that you're going to have some kind of error. You're going to be veer to the left or the right of your target. So a better way to do this, and the way we recommend that our competitors go about plotting their routes, is to use the three things we talked about in the beginning. So an example would be, you're here on top of this hill point, and you need to travel down to a checkpoint down here. You start traveling, you travel down to this hill, you know there's a trail on the hill, so you go down southeast until you hit this hill. You find the trail, you move along the trail until you hit this three-point intersection. You note that there's a trail to your right before you hit the three-point intersection, so you don't make the mistake of going down the wrong trail. And then you pull out your map and compass from that intersection because you know where you are on the map, and you shoot directly towards your checkpoint. Now what we've done there, we've utilized all these three things. The hilltop was a terrain feature that we knew and we recognized, and it told us we're going the right way. And so was this trail here on the right-hand side of us as we move south on the trail, this intersection. So those are collecting features. This intersection here that we pulled our map and compass out from and we moved towards the checkpoint, that was an attack point. This stream, I didn't talk about this before, but we could also say, hey, if we overshoot this checkpoint, we'll know when we hit this stream that we've overshot the checkpoint. If we hit a stream going in this direction, we need to turn around and backtrack and find the checkpoint. So that's a catching feature. That is the simplest way, I think, to explain these three things, and the best way to think about land navigating is to utilize the terrain, pick out some collecting features, some attack points, and then always plan a catching feature that told you you've gone too far, in case you overshoot, that you don't just keep walking in that general direction forever. Also, you want to keep track of your pace count along the route. And notice here that I didn't go over the top of this hill, because there's no reason to beat yourself up and go in a straight line over the top of a hill when you can go around it. You might even consider alternate routes that are even easier on you, and that's why this is kind of more of an art than a science. You know, another route you could go is just head due south. That way you miss this hilltop, come up, hit this trail here, and then push in and do the exact same thing. You know, it all depends on the terrain and kind of your judgment, and that's the beauty of land navigation, is it gives you a chance to get out there and practice and try to figure out your own techniques and what works well for you.